don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
What about endorsing us to sponsor you becoming a product yourself now? If that means slaving away your freedom of mind, freedom of choice, to trade it in for a hero, but it's really corporate worship, when it boils down to spending irresponsibly, and companies taking advantage of your consuming to fatten up your ideas and perception, for the comfort to ease the pain from the day-to-day, only to force you to fasten while fastening the moral compass. Ready to slim down your chances just to pick up the prices they're willing to pay.
It's more important to know how to interact with someone utilizing these personality traits than how to identify the traits of the person. Because when you can identify how to interact with the person, utilize
things that, like, just for an example, that two of the ladies would come over and tend to my...
You may very well be in a position where you need that exploration and experience. It's like, that's going to be what it takes both for you to feel satisfied with the level of experience you have, and also to get an opportunity to experience genuine consequences from it.
Construct, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, maybe rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired as a friend on the slack where weak I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed, begging that generations remember our story.
Back for the round two, folks. What's good? What's good? What's good?
Good morning. Good morning.
I got something different. I got something different for y'all. I was on here about a half an hour ago.
Yeah.
But I got something different for y'all. I ain't never heard of this shit before. I ain't gonna hold you. This is brand new to me, man. But shout out to my co-hosts, writers, content creators, all that. Let me get that out the way first. Sarah, what's going on?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How's everyone? Happy Thursday.
Right on, right on, right on. I think I'm gonna end up doing a triple day. I got something else cooking for y'all later. We're gonna chop it up for sure. But right now, you see the title. I've never heard of this before in my life. I've never heard of it. But we're gonna learn this together, man. I'm gonna bring this up on the big screen. I'm gonna let it play. It's like a 4-minute clip, so if you got some patience, I'm gonna let this brother talk. And
let's do it.
What a lot of them do nowadays, and old-fashioned values and things like that, sadly, have become more and more of a thing of the past, with more and more percentage of these modern gals in their 20s and 30s. It says, I asked her to marry me. She said yes, and we spent the next year engaged. Everything was going great. At least I thought it was. Anyway, fast forward to about 2 years ago. So if we do the math here, when he said fast forward to 2 years ago, it sounds like he probably graduated college when he was, 22, 23. Met her, dated her 24, 25. Then they got married maybe a year later, 26. And then 4 years later, then we come up to modern time. So she was probably around 30 years old. What happens at 30, guys? Women that are single usually start freaking the hell out, or are freaking out because they're 30, and even they know that 30 is definitely a game changer for a lot of the gals and how they're seen with guys. But for the ones that are married, they start thinking, oh my God, I'm getting old. So a lot of them in these stories at 30 think, I need to start proving to myself that I'm still desirable, that men still want me. Hence Instagram, hence OnlyFans, hence doing these things these gals do to get attention and validation elsewhere, and you get the point here. He says, we'd been married for about 6 years at that point and had a 4-year-old child. I was living what I thought was the dream life. I have a good job, and I had a woman that I love with a fantastic family life. We had a good communication and enjoyed our time together. At least I thought we did. I'll admit that I was much more blue pill at the time. Bro, you're like most dudes, so don't feel bad. We both had our own friend groups and our own hobbies. I'm into woodworking and would spend the time with my friends doing a couple of times a month. My ex-wife had a few different hobbies. The typical scrapbooking, reading groups, and in particular a candle club. I've never heard of a candle club. But we're going to see the candle club is actually a front for the carousel club. Being a typical guy, none of those things held any interest to me at all. But to be fair, she wasn't interested in woodworking. No problem. I think people should have their own interests. The candle club my wife participated in was with her group of friends. They got together twice a month and sat around gossiping, drinking wine, and looking at buying candles. In my mind, it sounded like something women would do, and it didn't raise any flags in my mind. Well, you're about to see something otherwise. At least until I was taking out the trash one afternoon. I'm not sure how other people are, but I'm that guy that keeps receipts from stores just in case they're needed for warranties or returns. I was gathering up the trash and noticed a receipt in the bag, so I pulled it out to make sure it wasn't for anything important. That was the moment I knew something was wrong. When I looked at the receipt, I could see it was for the purchase of a candle from Walmart. I was really confused since my ex-wife bought all her candles from her candle club. She would show me her candles, and when she came back from visiting with her friends at their little club, I never thought anything of it, but was confused about why she'd be buying one from Walmart. She always took cash with her to the candle club to pay for the candles. Interesting. A lot of guys would just think nothing of it. Okay, she was at Walmart, saw candles she liked. No harm, no foul. But this guy's gut told him something was wrong. And this is an example why I tell you guys to trust your gut. Listen to it. At least listen to it and maybe do some investigating. I took the receipt and found the last candle she had shown me that she bought at her club, and the item number on the receipt matched the candle that she told me she got at her club. If she didn't get the candle, well, they can do what a lot of them do nowadays. And old-fashioned.
Oh, that was all of it. That was all of it. But I'm guessing what he ended up finding out is that she was into some swinger club type shit.
Definitely. The first minute, I already knew. Sorry. Really? Yeah, I've never heard of a candle club, but as I said, I'm not a normal person. My mind goes in different directions. So the sheer fact is definitely a cover up. But isn't swinger clubs or that kind of world, isn't it like more the merrier? Isn't it all about open relationships? Oh, let's try this. Let's experiment this. Why did she have she needed to actually hide it? She didn't want her husband or ex-husband to be a part of it? I don't know. Maybe she wanted, but she sounds like she was living a double life.
Oh, it was definitely a double life. And the weird part about it is I did a story a few weeks ago on it was called the turtle, the fucking green turtle. It was like some turtle type shit. And it's this thing that they do on cruises. But the whole time it's not that. It's actually these people are just freaky as hell. And they be having threesomes. They be having girl on girl encounters, sleeping with married people. But the woman had actually lied to her dude and told him that she was going with her friends on a trip, and turned out to be something else. And it made me think of that with this. her and the guy they've been married, but that dark side, that side
Mm,
about the person that we don't be knowing about, she was living it,
yeah.
and she used it in such a subtle way. You think that is, oh, I'm just going to pottery class.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays you don't know if pottery class means something else, and
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I've always said this, and I love it because people, as I said, I'm on another my own planet. And do you know how many times people call me, text me, or Sarah, you're right. You're right. Because you've got that sense about, you know what I mean, that particular person or whatever's going on. And I always said, it's not what they're doing. It's not what they're saying. It's what they're doing. And they will cover it up. And people just look at me and just go, what? How do you know? You just know. You've got that intuition. I always listen to my gut. And I've always been a person, and I've always said this. How well do you know someone? How well do you really, really know someone? And the reason why I'm saying this is that back in Australia, my good roommate or flatmate, we lived with each other for years. I'm talking years. We nicknamed him the Tomcat because he was never around. People were like, you don't have a roommate or flatmate, you have a phantom roommate. And I thought, what? Because he was never around. Once he or once I think he got himself like a girlfriend or fiance, or he was going to end up marrying her. He happened to have a phone, and obviously I was with like my other half, and he had happened to leave it in his drawer. You know, we thought, being us, being nosy. Oh my gosh! It was a phone or a burner phone. We call it the backup phone of all list of girls. Like, as I said, no judgment. I get what you do in life. But I knew there was something very quiet, very like, tomcat kind of. And I just thought, what is he hiding? Well, what, not saying, and as I said, I don't judge, which I do. I didn't give a damn. As long as you're not hurting me, it's not my place. But when we picked up this phone, it was a list of all these other girls. And now we don't know if they're girlfriends. We don't know if they're ex-partners. We don't know if it's an escort agency. We don't know if it's a massage parlor. My mind was just like, oh, the cat's out of the bag. You know what I mean? Because I just knew. So going back to this candle situation, like, I understand. Sometimes it's always good to kind of, okay, honey, you have your life. Honey, I have my life. You know what I mean? I understand. I find it's healthy. We need, to have our own set of friends or our own activities, our own, because as I said, yes, you're going to be with your honey or your partner or your boyfriend, husband, whatever. If this is the love of your life, you need that time where you can just be yourself, just be able to kind of be yourself with a new set of friends, a new set of people, but as I said, there's a website. This is Australia now. It's called Apple Pie. You look it up. I'm not saying no more. It's on that swinger kind of thing. And as I said, I attended it. I'm not hiding it. I'm not denying it. But I'm the mediator. I didn't want to get kind of that crazy freaky shit. I thought, no, I don't want it. I'm thinking, I don't want to be catching no diseases. You know what I mean? But the guy that invited me, he needed a girl. Oh, I've done awesome shit. Oh, and then, come with us. I'm good. Are you sure? 100%. Are you sure they went? No, because they saw me. oh, she's cute, she's sexy, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, no, I don't want to be catching nothing from you guys. But as I said, it was a swingers thing. And I was just like, this is another world. What is this about? This is fun. It's exciting. From the sidelines. You know what I mean? Right now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, who's this girl? But there's that world. You know what I mean? And I didn't understand it at first. I was like, what? And they used to meet up every weekend. But it was a group. You know what I mean? It was like invite only. It was on the down low. And I'm telling you, they go to this amazing, like lavish, like we're not talking like in Motel 6, for that shit. This was top-notch hotels. And I was like, and like, you sure you don't want to come? I'm good. The invite's there. I'm cool. Because how I knew about it is this guy, he brought me in. And then I attended, used to, as you do, drinks, meet up at a bar or a club and blah, blah, blah. And, get loose and blah, blah, blah. And started talking because they see me because I'm good people. I'm like, I like to, which I do. Sometimes not thing for me being so friendly and nice. And I like to talk to everyone. Yet to find out, I started talking to the couple. I thought, oh, this couple's cool. I thought, no worries. Found they were the owners. They were the facilitators. They were the initiators. The website Apple Pie. And I thought, I'm good. This is as far as it's going to get. We're just drinking, talking, da-da-da. Are you sure? 100%. So it's out there. Out there. And it's sad that she had to, not sad, that she had to, I get it. I get it why she did that from her. I understand why. I mean, because, this is my time. You don't need to know everything about me. I understand why the other half was like, why do you have... Yeah, anyway, never mind. We'll leave it at that. So, yeah.
Hey, you can do whatever the hell you want. Just don't walk down this motherfucking aisle, have me sign off on some paperwork, put my last name behind yours, and then have me out here looking like a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
that's not
yeah, I get that. I get that.
Like, y'all need to stop with that selfish shit. Put it all on the table when you dating, when y'all going out and stuff. Tell people who you are. Give them the option. Let them decide if they want to deal with that. I'm sure there are people who are willing to swap spit and other bodily fluids for recreational purposes. But don't bring folks in who have a different lifestyle than you. But people are selfish and they keep doing it. And then you get bamboozled and astounded when a person responds contrary to what you made up in your head. You think because I'm peaceful and I'm neutral and soft-spoken that I won't throw you through a glass window? Or I won't power drive your ass into a Ford Chevy in the trunk? Like, y'all really be on some real ridiculous type of stuff. You got it in your head what type of person you dealing with, and you really don't be knowing. I be having to tell people this shit all the time. You might have grew up with me. That don't mean you know me. You see sides of me, but you don't know. Just like I don't know if you eat ass or not. I don't, but you probably do. I mean, people have fetishes, desires, and things that they are entertained by. That's just them. But if I show interest in you and vice versa, you have the option to keep stuff to yourself. That's your choice. But I also have the option to respond the way that I decide to respond to it. Now, it might not be popular, it might not be mature, but hell, you took away my right when you decided to open your legs to multiple people while we were in this contractual verbal agreement that this was exclusive. So once you violated that, you done allowed other things to come into play. All bets are off. You don't have the right to tell me nothing. You out here getting jizzed on by open pineapples. And you, like, y'all be out here experimenting with some of the most crazy stuff, man. And I find it hilarious. I mean, and it's sad considering how high the HIV rate is, all these diseases. Y'all still be taking chances with y'all health. Y'all braver than me. You might as well just jump off of a bridge without a bungee cord. The disrespect.
Yeah, I'm there with you. If you're like that life or that living or lifestyle is specifically only for single living, when you're with someone or you've met someone, that changes the dynamic. I don't care who you are, what you are, blah, blah, blah. One of us is going to get hurt. One of us is going to feel a certain way. One of us is just going to pull the plug. One of us is going to leave each other. Period. So that's why I'm just like, huh. You know what I mean? Like, I just know, and I haven't had a taste of it out here in the States yet. That kind of, well, no, hold on, let me go back a bit. I did meet someone when I was on the strikes. He's a Californian, not LA guy. And he was invited to a porn wedding. Okay, what the hell's a porn wedding? Apparently this girl, she's up and up, like everyone knows her. And she was actually getting married. It was at some swanky wanky golf club out here in LA or out. And he was telling me, and I'm just like going, okay, I was ready for this, but not that ready, if that makes sense. But he would tell me, we will have, we had time. We were on the picket lines, you know what I mean? And obviously he felt comfortable to talk to me about it. And I could see he was excited to go to this wedding. And I'm like, okay. And I can only imagine what the guests, I can only imagine what it would be like. Because that's another world. Like, you're a hotshot kind of porn star out here in Los Angeles and you're getting married. And I'm like, obviously she did well because she lucked out, or maybe she was so good that she was able to, make so much money from it. Look, I don't know. But yeah, as I said, I was like, a porn star wedding. Okay. Only in Los Angeles. Yeah, only just like, but not only that, but it's just like, what is that? What does the guest list? What would the guest list look like? That's what I'm trying to say.
It probably would look like, I can imagine the room would be filled with condoms, used condoms hanging from the chandeliers, from the walls, um, a, a, a disgusting odor that would probably permeate from the seats. Uh, I don't know. But hey, to each his own, man. I don't. I don't. I think there's a market for everything. That's all I can say. There's a market for everything.
See your face. I know it's cringy. It's just
It is.
what you're gonna pick up. No, you'll be something.
Just the spiritual aspect of it too. You sharing yourself with multiple different people who share this self with multiple different people. You taking that back home.
What are you
What do you
picking?
right?
It's like you're already. This is so big. Feeling devil, literally. Like no, that other person. Is me. If that is disgusting. They have horrible energy out of that, and that's going to take some time. Even I'm all about good energy, just as I said, they need to heal. Sorry.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. When I say it ain't nothing out here for me, I really mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there I have interests, I have hobbies, but being pegged is not a hobby. You're not about to stick nothing on my bum. We're not doing any of that. No,
Yes. 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 Like
no. And like I
yeah.
said, tell people who you are at the beginning. Let them decide if they want to be a part of that. The guy said something that I thought was interesting, and maybe you can confirm or deny it. He said that a lot of women who are single in their 30s, an
Mhm.
alarm goes off in their head, and the ones who are actually married, they want to see if they still got it because they've been tied down to one person for so long. They don't feel the excitement no more because you're under a routine now. You ain't out here in the dating world getting hit on the same way that you did when you was younger and you had all these options. What do you agree with that? You know, with a woman being married to somebody for X amount of time, they need fun, they need to feel validated. So that's a part of her thing right here too, or is it a little more to it?
I, no. I get it. Like I don't know what it is with women and it's something that just really just upsets us. It's a trigger. What it is, I can't explain it, especially being a woman myself. I don't know what it is. Is it something we're taught at a young age? Or is it because we're faced with such like we have to be perfect all the time, like looking wise, blah blah blah, you know, going from your 20s to your 30s. But I think it is as well is that like I'm not gonna deny it. I'm like a seasoned woman. I've been told I'm a seasoned white woman in the entertainment world. And I thought, shit, when I heard that for the first time, I was like, what the fuck is that about? I don't feel old. I certainly don't act old, but that's how you'd see me. That's how you view me. And like when I told them what I'm doing and what I'm about, geez, cat got the tongue. I go, I'm so sorry that you're washed out and your life is so shitty. I feel the conversations I've had and when I've been around men, and I'm just like, oh, you're trying to get a one up on me? Do you want to try to feel good about yourself? That you need to put us down? Condescending. And it's so crazy. I've even had women, like when which they do, I don't know what it is that I say or do, but they don't like me, period. You know what I mean? Period. They just go into kind of threat mode, jealousy mode. And I'm just like, honey, you don't know me. I don't know you. As I said, I am very simple, nice, cordial, but women are just, you know what I mean? Catty. And it's interesting though that the older you get, I know you do get treated differently the older you get, but then that's up to you. It's up to you how you want to be treated and how you present yourself, or who you associate with, or how you conduct yourself. There's all that takes in effect. But I know there is that pressure, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and I'm just like, whoa, you know what I mean, in that sense. But it's sad, but it's true. You do get treated differently the older you get overlooked, you get dismissed, you know what I mean? And then how you look, what you wear, where you live, how much money you got, what are you driving, and there's so many layers and levels. You know what I mean? It's overwhelming, it's daunting. And it does bring up the worst out of women. It is a trigger moment, or a trigger, because if you're not in a healthy relationship, or if you're not loved right, or if you're not in a job that you want, look, I'm a firm believer. I cannot work in the corporate world. I cannot have an office job because those bitches are fucking bitches. Oh my gosh. For some reason, I'm their punching bag. I have had too many, like, hey, you want the job? And I'm like, okay, it's cool. I'm fine. I know that. I'll do temp jobs. I'll do what I need. But as I said, long term, I don't know what it is. And I can't be around it because it's soul sucking. Even when I worked at the theater, I worked at the Wallace Performing Arts, here in Beverly Hills. Oh, the bitchiness that came from that. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And as I said, I had many survivor jobs, so it wasn't the end-all be-end-all. But I was like, whoa. They'll be snickering, or they'll be backbiting. Oh, who does she think she... And I'm just like, hey, I'm not here long enough. I'm only here to do a shift. And I just thought, yeah. You're just insecure and just hateful. And it's sad, though. And, yeah. Anyway, never mind. Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
boy.
look, when you hit a certain age and you're not satisfied with the choices that you made in life, or you're not happy within yourself, you create
Yep.
problems out of nowhere.
Yep. Exactly. And
There's
that's
no there's no way in the world, and I know because I was married before, so I can say this confidently. You don't marry somebody that you're not in love with and expect a happy ending. Like when you take them vows and you decide to do that, you have to know. And if you don't and you still go through with it, you're going to pay for it and you're going to regret it. You're better off just being honest with yourself about who you are and where you are in life. Don't bring innocent people into your stuff. Figure out your lifestyle and what worked for you. And then whatever you attract is going to be attracted to who you really are and not what you're trying to pretend to be. If I found out that my partner was doing that, I wouldn't have said a single word. I wouldn't have said a single word. I would have just had the paperwork prepared. I would have had the bags packed. I would have had the receipts prepared. I would have had my retainer already set aside. And it would have been that. No need to have a conversation because I know you're going to lie about it. No need to talk to me about why you're living that, how we got here. No gaslighting. We don't even have to do none of that. You made your decision. You chose to lie to me about everything that you was doing. That's enough right there. Your lifestyle is your lifestyle. But the second that you decided to lie about it and then you concealed it and you put great thought into it, let's not get it twisted. You put a lot of consideration into how you was going to maneuver this and come back home to me, lay in the bed with me, put your lips on me and everything, knowing damn well what you've been doing out here. Still smiling. Nope, we don't need to talk about nothing. Why are you going to talk now? You done bumped your head. You done absolutely bumped your head. That's how I know that the level of respect was nowhere near equal within this situation at all. Because ain't no way in the world you're going to say I do to somebody, respect them and love them, and do what you did, conceal it, put thought and time and energy and effort into concealing it, and then think that you can get caught not by your own account, not because you felt bad about it. You got caught because God shed a light on it. The gut instinct kicked in. Something made the person look at these receipts. Something made me go through this trash, made me examine this. Why? Because things were off. The signs were clear. Your routines switched up. Everything that you were doing before completely altered. And then you want to make an excuse for it by gaslighting and saying, well, don't you think it's good that I want to change? Don't you think it's good? How dare you try to condemn me for wanting to be a better person? How dare you try to judge me for my past? How dare you try to do this and do that? I thought it was a good thing that I'm trying to do something. No. You weren't doing it the entire time that I was dealing with you and courting and vetting you. These behaviors and these patterns changed the very second that you got introduced to an entirely different world. And I noticed it. Why wouldn't I, as the husband, notice the differences in how my wife is moving? You're a piss poor spouse. If you can't tell when she's happy, sad, confused, lying, manipulating, cheating, doing anything out of no, you ain't really been locked in with that person in the beginning. So if I say I don't want to talk to you and I'm done, I'm checked out, that's what it is. We don't have, well, what do we need to have a conversation about?
So my question to you, like, if you're with this person and you see, the distance or the change, yes, it's better off to divorce each other because it's not healthy for both parties, And yeah, look, as I said, the sheer fact that she did what she did, we don't really know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't really know the end of, we don't know the real. I add though, because, I feel for the guy because, but then again, maybe he wasn't giving the attention he wanted. That's what she probably did what she did. I don't know. As I said, that's kind of open speaking, me speaking.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't give a damn about none of
I'm
that.
there with you.
I mean, cause
I'm there with you.
like shit, you ain't talk to me about it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
don't walk around this motherfucker moping and and trying to just give me the silent treatment, or you need to be direct. Be direct.
Yes, the silent treatment doesn't get you far either.
Oh,
It makes it worse.
you don't want to cuddle no more. You don't want me touching on your butt or nothing. You don't want to do none of that's your way of trying to. And then like if I confront you about, all right, well, what's up? You ain't being effective. You ain't doing this. And then you try to hit me with the, I'm just not in the mood. Shut up. That's not an answer.
Mm,
It is an answer, but that's cowardly because you're manipulating your lie to fit your reasoning for doing what you're doing, or you're trying to rationalize it and disguise it as I'm just going through stuff. Well, I say I'm going through stuff all the time. I say things like, it's just one of them days. You know how vague that is?
yeah, yeah.
You
I'm there
changing
with
your
you.
whole patterns, but you ain't coming out and telling me what's up. But you want to stay here though.
Mm,
And you want to stay here though. You want to use up this electricity and this water and this gas, but you don't want
yeah.
nothing to do with me, man. Get out of here with that shit.
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm there with you. I'm there with you. Like, you know, you want the convenience, but you don't want to do my part or your part. You don't want to be faithful. You feel you can't be honest. What type of marriage is this? Why are we together? If you want to do it in your own time, yeah, go live your life. It's not fair, not right on both parties. But hey, people are just so whacked up these days. I mean, like, I don't know about you, but the longer that I live, I don't really want to know what people are about. Because it's just, I don't know, I'm just, I can't explain it anymore because I'm just like, that's where you're at, that's where your head's at. Maybe because I've lived, or maybe because I've traveled, or maybe, oh, like, I don't know. As I said, I just, like, at the end of the day, there's a loose screw. There's too many loose screws to be going down that road. Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it.
It's just, yeah, it's just wrong at the end of the day. Like, this is not in the Quran. This is not in the Bible. This is the new version, the King James. It's not in any biblical. Yeah, what happened to the good old drinking wine and talking, or having cups of coffee? Yeah, this is me. There's no wholesomeness anymore. That's all out the window. You know what I mean? It's like you're a prude, or you're like, oh, stop being such, straight, you know, loosen up. I'm sorry that I'm not a freak show. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that I have values. I'm sorry that I have standards. But I don't know. I don't want to know anymore. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'd rather be boring. At least I know I'm clean. You know what I mean? At least, I don't have to keep, going to the doctors. You know what I mean? STD, HIV. You know what I mean? That's just, yeah. I don't know. I just don't have any sympathy for that. You know what I mean? All this, because you want to have a bit of fun in a crazy drunken night and drunken encounter. Is it really worth it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, I just can't go there anymore. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I better stop playing around with people's feelings, man.
yeah.
Yeah, quit that shit. Y'all don't watch the news. Y'all don't be on social media. You know damn well these people be crashing out over their heart.
Mm,
I
yeah.
done covered too many stories. One dude killed his girlfriend and the pregnant the woman was the girl. She was 17. He killed her, and I don't know if it was because he didn't know because it was an abusive relationship. He was 21. She was 17. He drove 400 miles or some shit like that. Set her up to have a pizza delivered to her. Brought her AR-15. Killed her. The baby died later. Then there was another story
Oh my
where
God.
a kid killed
Oof.
his girl and tried, like, people out here are not playing around with their feelings. They might be emotionally fucked up in the head, but people are not playing
Yes.
around with their feelings. Do not get involved with people if you ain't equally yoked with these folks. Don't get involved with people if you got secret agendas and hidden agendas. Stay away from folks that are red flags. Stop ignoring them. Start trusting your instinct. Get therapy. This could have
Thank
been
you.
ugly.
Just, yeah. Yeah. You're right there with me, man. You're right there. Like, it will get ugly. You know what I mean? Because you don't know people's extent. You don't know people's, when, heat of the moment. It gets ugly and dark fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you're not right, physically or emotionally, oh boy. I mean, it's just, you don't know what people are capable of each other. You really don't know. Like I said, I've had different conversations with different people, and how relationships have ended, or what's happened, or what the extent, or what really went behind the walls, or the walls could talk. We don't know. We really don't know, and it's scary, especially being a female. But then again, we're in modern times now. Women are up there too. They're pretty, violent. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, the male or the men are always blamed for it. But you keep poking the bears enough, oh, she'll get wild. She will she'll do something about it. You know what I mean? And she doesn't give a shit or a damn of the Rebecca. Yeah. Oof. Yes, 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 and more yes. Yes. But hey, you don't know what people's, their set of fulfillment this day and age. But yeah, I don't want to blame, but it's the social media, it's the internet that's actually, your bandwidth. Everyone is short fused these day and age. I mean, people will listen and prepare and do. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I pretty much said what I need to say about it. I don't know what's the current status of their marriage, nothing like that, but let this be a lesson to people.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. A lesson is a blessing. Well, supposedly in this case, no. But yeah. As I said, I've got no more words for this, because I'm just like, yeah, it's just wrong on so many levels, and there is really, from my point of view, there's just no reasoning. You can't reason with the unreason.
Well, look, we about to get up off of here. I appreciate y'all for tapping in wherever you watching from. Sarah, I'm glad we could do this one.
Yes, I appreciate it. It's always good shows, always good talks, always good, so I appreciate it. You have a great day. Thank you to all the wonderful people, and just stay safe. Just stay safe. That's all I've got.
And I will see you guys later on this evening. Y'all be easy. Do me a solid before you go, if you don't mind.
What's the goddamn button?
Peace.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, maybe rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired as a friend on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing and singing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed. Begging that generations remember our story.